Hello. Well, I just got done making my homemade cinnamon rolls and I am letting the dough rise after we kneaded it. And one of the reasons you need it is you want to make sure you activate the gluten so the dough can rise. And it takes about 12 hours for the dough to rise. So I figured I wanted to turn the oven on anyways and warm the kitchen so the dough rises quicker. So I said, you know what, while I'm here, let's go ahead and make some chocolate chip cookies. Now my daughter asked me, this is interesting, she said, Mom, why don't you make some Ghirardelli chocolate chip cookies? And no, I'm not using the recipe on the back. But you see, the package is open. That means someone's been in them. I think I know who has been in them. It's my daughter. So I have my KitchenAid mixer. I will be using it in this video. What we're gonna do is start with a cup of butter, softened. And back to my cinnamon rolls, my daughter said we need to perfect the middle, so you may see something new. We'll see how that tastes. She says some recipes need improving, so we're gonna see if it improves it. So we do 1 cup of butter, softened. We put in 3/4 of a cup brown sugar, packed. You can use light or dark brown sugar. It's really your preference. 3/4 of a cup of regular sugar. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You cream this all together. I absolutely love my KitchenAid mixer. I've had it for several years, and I'll tell you, I've probably had this KitchenAid mixer 10 plus years, and it still works like a charm. I do a lot of baking around the holidays. This year I haven't been able to bake as much as I usually bake because, quite frankly, I've been really busy at work. And so I'm just starting to do my Christmas baking right now. Last night I made homemade Christmas cookies, the family secret recipe. Tonight I'm making Ghirardelli chocolate chip cookies. Once you cream the butter and the sugar mixture, then you go ahead and add in the eggs one at a time till they're well blended. I'm using my University of Miami cup. It's my husband's cup. It says Dad on it. Hoping to give a little extra juju to the University of Miami, who's getting ready to play Ohio State. Once that's mixed in a separate container, I put the flour, 2 1/4 cups of flour. Now I don't use the full 1/4 of a cup. I usually take a tablespoon out because I like my chocolate chip cookies a little bit thinner. If you want them a little bit thinner, take out a tablespoon. If you want them a little bit thicker, just add an extra tablespoon of flour in there. And it's really your preference. And on this, I put in 2 1/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. And I will go ahead and mix it in. And you can see as I pulled that up, it didn't fully mix. So I'm going to put it back down and let it mix a little bit more. Using my Pampered Chef spatula. I do a lot of baking, and you would think I'd have better baking bowls. I've broken them, I have not replaced them. I guess if my family is watching, that's something you guys can get me for Christmas. And I just use whatever is available because it's a whole lot easier. On my live stream, I made the cinnamon roll dough, if you want to watch that. And after 12 hours, I will be doing a video on the finalization of making the cinnamon rolls before I put them in the oven. So I went ahead and put in the flour mixture. Hello. Where are you guys? And you can put anything in here. You can put white chocolate. I made peppermint bark cookies out of this. You can use the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies. Right now I'm using the Ghirardelli. This is my daughter's favorite. You can tell she got into it. And these ones are bigger chocolate chips. So let's see how they turn out. Go ahead and mix it together. There's your dough, folks. That's how quick and easy it is to make chocolate chip cookies. The recipe's easy, and this will make about 2, 3, possibly 4 dozen cookies. And before I start, I usually preheat the oven to 375 degrees. That's what I did. I'm hoping to activate help rising of my cinnamon rolls. My kids were younger, they would fight over who was going to, man, this thing doesn't want to come off. Who was going to lick that. And there's the dough. What I do is take one of the pans, I line it with parchment paper. Some people grease it. I don't like greasing my pans because that just adds more butter to the recipe. I don't like that. It can make it greasy. Then you just put the cookies on the cookie sheet and you cook them. You can cook them anywhere from 9 to 13 minutes. I usually cook them around 10 minutes. And the reason for that is if I pull them out of the oven and I feel like they need to cook longer, cookies will continue to bake on the cookie sheet. If you leave the cookies on the cookie sheet, they will continue to bake. So what I usually like to do is go ahead and leave them in there for 10 minutes. A lot of times when I pull them out, I will leave them sit on the cookie sheet for about a minute or two, depending on how long. But I will tell you, like I said in my video yesterday, if you overcook cookies, you can't take away the time. That's why I'd recommend go ahead and put them in for 10 minutes, pull them out, look at them. And if you feel like they need to be cooked a little bit longer, don't put them back in the oven. Just let them sit on the cookie sheet and they will continue to bake. I usually let them sit on the cookie sheet for a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most, and then I'd pull them out. I like my cookies crunchy. These ones are super moist, but they're also crunchy on the outside because I make them a little bit thinner than most people. So tonight I'm using Ghirardelli. These are bigger chocolate chips than I normally use. And in this recipe, you can throw anything in it. Peppermint bark, chocolate chip cookies, Ghirardelli, whatever you want to throw in it. M&Ms. It's just a generic cookie recipe where you can throw anything you want in it. I got this from Pampered Chef, and I will tell you, it makes the perfect size cookies. I don't know what it's used for, but I use it for cookies. I'll go ahead and put these in the oven for 10 minutes. And I always like to get my other pan ready. And if you don't want to make cookies, you can put this in a sheet pan, and you need to probably cook it for a good 10, maybe 20 minutes. Actually 15 to 20 minutes, because you want it to cook all the way through. If you want to make a cookie pie, or you can put it on a pizza ring and make chocolate chip or cookie pizza. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and put these aside while I wait for the other ones to bake. Thank you so much.